season is officially over. Draymond Green gets a big hug from LeBron James. They've both been saying very nice things about each other in recent weeks. Your final score in Game 6, the Los Angeles Lakers 122, the Golden State Warriors 101. The Lakers win the Western Conference semifinal series by a count of 4-2.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. That was a tough one. Dub Nation, as we say good morning to everybody out there getting off their graveyard shift. Good morning to everybody at work. If you're getting ready for work, what is happening? Boy, we're going to have one hell of a show. Good morning to all the students, and shout out to all the Oakley teachers out there trying to fight for what's theirs. Yeah. It sucks that they have to strike, but come on, Oakley, get together. These teachers are important. They're teaching their kids. Come on, get it right. And the Warriors, they need to figure out a way to get it right this offseason. We're going to start here, Sassy. As I say, good morning to you. Welcome back to the Morning Roast. Comcast Business Text Line, YouTube. Warriors got rolled at Game 6. And to me, the game was over at halftime when Austin Reeves hit the half-court shot. Jordan Poole kind of moves out the way. Olay, go ahead, have a free shot attempt. And now we enter an offseason where we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if Bob Myers is going to be back. We don't know if Steve Kerr is going to be back. We don't know if Draymond Green is going to opt in. We don't know if they're going to trade Jordan Poole or trade anybody. Hell, maybe even Klay Thompson. I don't know. But we're going to talk all about it today. All about it. We're going to start with Game 7. We're going to start with the season. What went wrong? Did they ever get over the punch? Heard around the world. I mean, there's so much to unpack here that I feel like 4 hours is not enough today, Shasky.
No, it's not. And I know everyone's going to immediately jump to, trade this guy, trade that guy, acquire this dude. Like, I want to just unpack the season. It was, on some level, it feels like, maybe they overachieved a little and just like literally beating the Sacramento Kings. On another level, that sounds absurd because you won the championship last year and you have Steph Curry in his prime, right? So I don't want to insult people's intelligence this morning, but at the same time, it's just such a frustrating year. I can't remember a year this frustrating. When they lost to the Raptors, it was like, they gave their all. Injuries happen. We understand that's a part of the game. When they lost to LeBron James, like in 2016, I think a lot of people, they did put themselves in that situation because of some of the Draymond flagrants leading up to that. Guys got hurt. Like that one, that was a good. This year was just like agony all year. I mean, if I said to you, they might have played 3 of their best 5 or 6 games in the Sacramento series, you might listen to that all year.
I'd agree. Here's how frustrated this season was. You think about winning streaks, right? Longest winning streaks this season.
Yeah, give it to me.
And let me go back to 2014-15.
Yeah.
They won 16 straight that season. Obviously, they won the 24 straight to open the season. The next year, 2015-16.
Maybe the greatest individual regular season I've ever seen.
Kevin Durant comes in 2016-17. They win 14 in a row.
Wow.
Longest winning streak in 2017-18. They weren't even trying that season. 18. They weren't even trying that season.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
They won 11 in a row that year. 2018-19, when they lost to Toronto, they won 11 in a row. And, of course, 2019-20 was a disaster, but they won 4 in a row. Yeah. They won 4 in a row once that year.
Oh, they did win 4 in a row.
They won 4 in a row that year.
Wow.
Once.
Wow.
The next season, a play-in tournament, they won 6 in a row.
Okay.
At one time. That came at the end of the season.
I was going to say, the final, after Steph hurt his butt.
Yep. And then last year, they won 9 in a row once. This year, they had 2 5-game winning streaks. 2. Just 2. All right? So you think about it. The Houston, Minnesota, Portland, Clippers, Pelicans, right? They won 5 straight. And then you go back to late December to early January. This team was never able to gain any traction.
No.
It was never able to gain any consistency. And we didn't even talk about the road record yet. Within 11 games, the worst road record for a defending champion in NBA history. NBA history.
A lot of talking points are going to expire. They didn't win a road game in this series against the Lakers.
Well, that's not the streak of 28 straight series of winning a road game.
That's crazy.
They
Steve lost in the Western Conference.
Right. Steve Kerr's no longer undefeated. They're now 19-1, losing to a Western Conference foe. The first time Steph, Klay, and Draymond have been healthy in the series through the entirety of the series. They were 17-0. That snapped. So a lot of streaks snapped, but the way the season went by, it was a fitting end to me, Shasky.
Why is that?
It was a fitting end because of what happened all season long. There was the punch.
Yeah.
There was Wiggins missing 25 straight games after missing 15 with the right adductor strain. There's Steph Curry getting hurt. There's the cloud hanging over Anthony Lamb in that situation. Then you had the youngsters, Wiseman, Moody, Kuminga. Wiseman gets traded.
Yeah.
Moody's getting DNPs. Kuminga averages 23 minutes a game from February 1st through the end of the regular season. He doesn't play.
The GP2 trade with the injury and the 3 days.
You trade away Wiseman. GP2 doesn't pass the physical.
That feels like an afterthought now.
Michael Green doesn't play. I mean, it was just a mess of a season.
It really was.
And it wasn't a lot of joy.
No.
I felt like a lot of Dub Nation this year just was not happy.
Well,
they're not happy.
I don't think the players were ever really that happy. Did you? Like, when was a moment like where you can remember these guys like, yeah, like all pulling the rope in the same direction?
The 5-game win streak at home, and then they lost 3 straight in that homestand. 5 straight at home, I should say, on the 8-game homestand. Then they just said,
did they win that 5 games without Curry?
Without Curry. And then they lost the last 3. Then they lost the last 3 in that homestand.
Wow.
So, did they enjoy playing with each other? Well, when you go on the road, you're together. You're together like one family. Here, when you play home games, you got your families. You go back home, you lay your head on your pillow, you're happy. But you go on the road, you're away from your families. You're away from the home gym. And you're just together. And that togetherness just never felt like it was there. And you can see it in the road games. You can see it in the road games. And so, when you go on the road, you got to be together as a team. Do you hang out? Do you eat dinner together? I don't know. I don't know.
The other narrative not narrative, but like storyline throughout this year has also been like Bob Myers is in a contract year.
Well, you didn't bring that up. Yeah, no doubt.
And like I'm thinking, and I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but like, Kerr's got 1 year left on his deal. Do they want to do that again with this situation? Like where you've not a lame duck. I hate the whole like lame duck, but there's murmurs, there's chatter. Are you going to be here? Are you not going to be here? What's going to happen? Like, we don't even know if Bob Myers is going to be here. It says, Woj, I saw a video yesterday, Woj saying that he's going to take a couple of days, maybe weeks to determine.
He's got time. Woj just said.
No, but I do think that I'm not saying that that's the end all be all, but like that's another part of this whole thing. Like, do I even want to be here? How can I make decisions as the GM for long term and for the now if I don't even know if I'm going to be here? Not that Bob would compromise the organization. I just think it makes it more difficult.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, so you got the Bob Myers situation. You got the Steve Kerr situation. You got the Draymond Green opt-in. You get Wiggins and Poole who get extensions. And really, Game 7, you've seen everything. And then, we didn't get to Game 6, excuse me. Game 7 was yesterday in my head. Yeah. I was playing it through my head. It's like, Lakers, Warriors chasing her. Game 7. Steph Curry walks off the court. Confetti, blah, blah, blah. No, serious. Like, and then you got the Klay Thompson situation where is he going to practice this summer? Did he have his legs? Because he was just completely awful in the last 4 games. I see a lot of rhetoric. I saw a lot of rhetoric was like, move him, put him on the bench, blah, blah, blah. Well, he's going to get wide open shots. But this is why last week we were having a discussion, maybe even 2 weeks ago. In order for the Warriors to go on a deep run, Wiggins would have to be their second best player.
Yes.
And you saw in Game 5, he got 18 field goal attempts.
Yeah.
Right now, we're begging, get in the 15 to 19 field goal attempt range because Klay is no longer a number 2 option. He wasn't the number 2 option last year in the postseason.
No.
It may have looked at it at times, but Wiggins was that guy.
Well, you can take turns in a series. Things can flip, and you can have a couple of games, right? Like, so you don't have to be the night in, night out dude. But I'm with you. But I think the rib injury for Wiggins late in that Game 5 clearly hampered him in Game 6. He did not look. Like, the guy looks so like a shell of himself.
He was walking gingerly. He was a shell of himself. That's an injury that takes 6 weeks to recover from.
Well, LeBron,
6 weeks.
LeBron backed him down early, and you could just tell he couldn't hold up. I don't even blame Wiggins. Like,
LeBron was going at him.
What?
LeBron was going at him.
Yeah, he was. I mean, well, LeBron, and I'll give LeBron he deserves his credit. LeBron calculated his minutes brilliantly in the entire series.
Yep.
He picked and chose his spots. He was awesome. But to me, Anthony Davis was the best player in the series. And I can't remember the last time I said that in a Steph Curry series. And that's not a knock on Steph.
No,
I think it's more praising Anthony Davis. Defensively, unbelievable. Owning the glass, unbelievable. Offensively, mid-range, hitting a couple, just enough of the outside shots to open it up. Transition, I couldn't believe how fast he was. And then around the rim offensively, I thought Anthony Davis, this might have been the best series I've seen of Anthony Davis since that bubble.
He's never played better, in my opinion. The deflections in the half court, getting his arms out, switching on to Andrew Wiggins, defending Andrew Wiggins, I thought the key play again. Warriors are down 7. Felt like after all of that happened in the first quarter, they were down 7.
I couldn't believe
Final possession. They miss a shot. DiVincenzo cleans off the glass, tries to put it back up. Anthony Davis comes out of nowhere, rejects it.
Yep.
And then Austin Reeves goes out there and give Austin Reeves credit.
Oh, he was awesome.
Last 3 games, he figured it out, and he played his ass off. I disrespected him. I don't think he's as good as what the hype is.
Yeah.
But you know what? He fits that team. He fits LeBron. His handle's a lot better than I thought. His mid-range game is good. He gets to the free throw line, and he at least tries on defense.
Well,
he tries hard. And what we watched on Friday night, Game 6, was a more connected team beating down a team that felt like was a bit disjointed all season long.
Wouldn't you also agree that they had clearly defined roles for all of those players?
No doubt. No doubt.
And
connection.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a connection.
Exactly.
That goes with connection. When you're not connected, then you get people moping about minutes.
Yes.
Then you get people getting mad about their roles. DiVincenzo, Poole, Kuminga, all had their roles changed at multiple stops of the season. That's what I just said.
But I'm saying, like, DiVincenzo, like, Bonte, he was good in Game 6, but let's be real. He was not the player that was great in the regular season throughout either series. You saw, again, glimpses in Game 6. But he was nowhere near what he was during the regular season. And I'm not crushing DiVincenzo.
Not even close.
But to me, he's a microcosm of everything that was like all off. And I love DiVincenzo. It wasn't for a lack of effort.
Well,
he just
couldn't
hit anything.
Well, his role changed. You don't know when you're getting minutes. You don't know when you're going to get to a rhythm. You don't know when you're going to play. Same thing happened to Kuminga.
Wow.
Same thing happened to GP2 at times. Same thing happened to Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole was never able to get into a rhythm. Ever.
Well, Jordan Poole, there was a possession. And look, I know he's the easiest person to crush, and a lot of people want to run him out of town. And I hear all that. And look, today it's going to be very difficult to defend Jordan Poole. But my God, there was one possession in Game 6 where he's guarding LeBron James 40 feet away from the hoop, and he's just like all up in his stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, LeBron shooting threes, I want him. Back off him a little. Okay, back off him a little, number one. Number two, what are you doing? Why are you hacking him like that? What are you doing? We're in the bonus. What are you doing? I would just show that on a loop. If he wants to be an NBA player at a high level, you have to show him that and be like, what are you even trying to accomplish defensively here? What are you thinking? And like that, to me, the IQ of the team can be questioned. I think the roles can be questioned. We can question coaching. We can question the assembly. We can question the stars. Because I think also, as much as we talk about the role players, look, man, Draymond was great in a couple games and not good enough in others. Klay Thompson clearly had a bad game in a bad series.
No, Klay Thompson had a horrible series.
He had a
horrible series.
But if they want to be, quote unquote, the championship core, you need that core to play up to their level.
I think you need some tweaks. You need to get some guys who can get easy baskets. I mean, the Laker free throw discrepancy says it all. They're the more physical team. They play bully ball.
Yeah.
They got to the free throw line 160 times in this series. The Warriors got to the line 80 times. They doubled up the Warriors. They made 126 free throws. The Warriors, they made 60. They made 60. They were more physical. They played bully ball. And so when you get guys who are not connected and you're relying on jump shots and you're missing jump shots, it's a recipe for disaster. Klay Thompson, last 4 games in the series, he shot 25% from the floor. He shot 27.8 from 3. He couldn't buy a basket. Couldn't buy it. But I mean, he just couldn't buy it.
He was bad, and I'm not defending Klay. I'm really not. He was horrible in this game in particular, and throughout the series, he was not good.
Well, the last 2 games, he started off 1 for 7.
Well,
he wasn't good in Game 5 either.
But Bonte, and I'm asking you sincerely, and I think this is a bigger, as we look at the team and how it's assembled, who else was and I'm not even trying, because they were bad shot selection, but who else on this team is initiating offense outside of Steph Curry?
Yeah, nobody.
Who else is creating shots? Who else is taking shots on this team? Like that is as much of an issue as Klay's shot selection. Not having a clearly defined number 2 scorer is killing them.
Well, Wiggins was that guy. You would have thought Wiggins was that guy, but he just came back.
Yeah.
You know, he missed 25 straight in the regular season. He's trying to get his legs back in the playoffs. Then finally, he turns a corner at Game 5, 25-7-5. But, wait, rib injury. Now he can't move. Now he needs an injection.
Play.
Late in the game when the game was already over.
I know.
So what the Kings and Lakers did, I thought was genius.
What's that?
They made Klay Thompson a ball handler and a dribbler, and that is not his game. That is not his game whatsoever. Maybe it's one dribble pull up to the mid-range, but they took away all his airspace. Both teams, and they made life difficult for it. And that was part of the scouting report. Make Klay dribble. We all know he can't dribble all that well. He's not a dribbler. No. He's not a playmaker. No. He's a guy, if he's going to make plays, it's going to be for himself. Now, you can say, well, how come he can't adjust? How come he can't do anything? I don't know, man.
But as bad as he was, Draymond was passive offensively as well.
Right.
And I know he got the foul in the very first play of the game, and maybe that took away some of his aggression on defense. But I don't think Draymond was good enough in the series either. I don't want to give him a pass as well. I know because Klay's going to be the easy one because we're going to look at that stat sheet and we're going to say, oh, he was 3 of 18.
Was Shasky? Nobody's getting a pass.
Okay.
For this season. Nobody's getting a pass for Game 6. Nobody's getting a pass. The only one who I thought played his ass off and he got worn down, to give credit to the Lakers. They went at Stephen Curry defensively.
Absolutely.
All day long, and it got to his legs. You look at his three-point shot.
Yes.
Over the last 3 games, it was just not good.
I agree.
4-14 in Game 6. He had to work so hard to get anything going. The Lakers had a great game plan. And again, I look at the connection. D'Lo knows his role.
Yes.
Austin Reeves knows his role. Schroeder knows his role.
Rui.
Lonnie Walker knows his role. Rui knows his role.
Yeah.
And Vanderbilt. Hey, I may not play today, but you know what? I know my role, and they look like a great team. Dude, the Lakers look like a more connected team. The Nuggets look like a more connected team. Miami looks more connected. The Warriors look disjointed all season long.
Draymond threw a left-handed pass across the court casually, and Vanderbilt they got a rebound or whatever, and he throws it left-handed into the middle of the court just casually, and Vanderbilt comes flying in, rips it, dunks it. Then Anthony Davis intercepts an inbound pass. Just the utter laziness when it came to some of these turnovers, but that was a microcosm of all year.
It was all it.
All year they were turning it over that sloppily.
Steve, Coach, East Bay Paulie. Now, they've turned it over all throughout the years, the championship years, but the difference is you're a lot older now. The difference is you don't have role players like Sean Livingston
and
Andre Iguodala who could cut off the water. You don't have those veteran presence. And so the disconnect with the team, the disconnect with the youngsters, it all came to a head in game number 6. And you got roasted. And that's why Game 4, you were off after Game 4. I was legit depressed because in the back of my mind, and I'll admit
Lonnie Walker.
I admit this. Game 4, I thought, that's it. They can't win. You know, a lot of people, can they come back from a 3-1 deficit? Sure, they have the talent to. Sure, they can. I wouldn't bet against it. But this year, with the way this season had gone, I just don't see it happening. The Lakers look like the more connected team, which is why they're going to the Western Conference Finals. And the Warriors we're going to sit here and take our lumps. We're going to talk about what went wrong. Game 6, we'll recap it. We'll recap the series. But also, what's ahead for this team? We have no idea. It's the cloudiest offseason coming up for the Golden State Warriors in over 10 years.
I would say in the Bay Area in, 20? Since this feels like it's got a big, salary cap's coming to the NFL. It's 1992. That's what this feels like for the Golden State Warriors. They have crazy decisions to make.
No doubt. This